wayamba dzulo ndipo kupitirira lero mpaka na mawa ndi pa mkumano umenewo monga ndinakamba kale kuti pabwera anamandwa osiyanasiyana amu industry imeneyi ya insurance. Cholinga chake nchokuti aone kuti angapititse bwanji patsogolo ntchito za insurance m'Malawi muno.
Is bound to happen today, and in the course of the afternoon there should be a panel discussion. We'll be discussing insurance being the engine of economic growth and development in Malawi. Succumbing to the norm as we have practiced earlier, let's keep on participating, giving questions, provide remarks, because we'd like to have such type of extended conversations. The sole idea why we are having this Lakeshore conference is to discuss all these key issues happening within the sector, and it can only be ideal if we come forth and be as open as we possibly can in providing the critical questions as well as the comments regarding different presentations that will surely be made today. So in the interest of time, allow me at this particular time to call a representative from AMG Global, who happens to be one of our sponsors for this Lakeshore conference. So a big hand for AMG Global. Well, perhaps they're still getting set, so as they are doing such, we'll proceed to the next presentation by another sponsor as well. At this particular time, can we have a representation from Reunion Insurance? A big hand for Reunion Insurance, please.
Thank you very much, Yanko, for the invitation. My name is Hastings Kapesa, and I work for Reunion Insurance as the technical manager. This is part of the introduction, how we stay at Reunion. I also wanted to share with you a story of Reunion, especially the background, how we started as a company, and where we are, and what we do, and why you should insure with us. We were born on 3rd May 2005, and as we speak, we are now 19 years old. Surely next year we'll be celebrating our 20th anniversary, of which all of you are invited. And we are also a Malawian company, wholly owned by Malawian. I think we are following the footsteps of, we have followed, and we are sailing together in the same boat with Sparks Systems. They are also Malawian, and they are proud to be Malawian. We are equally proud to be Malawian. We have a vision as a company, and the vision is to be an ideal general insurer, providing innovative products and services that excites and delights our customers. Above all, we also have our core values and the mission statement that are strategically positioning us to be an organization that is providing value to our customers and to our various stakeholders that we transact business with. And true to one of our core values, which is innovation, creativity, and doing things different, as Reunion, we are the pioneer of digitizing the channel of insurance distribution. It is only at Reunion where you will be able to purchase insurance online. And as we speak in this room, if your motor policy has expired, just log to ri.online.mw, you'll be able to purchase your policy. As far as the device that you are using, is got internet. It might be either a cell phone, a laptop, or a tablet. You can challenge us, just try to log in. It will take you through to Union Online, where you'll be able to purchase your motor insurance, whether it's for third party or comprehensive. Indeed, it's also actually customized. You can purchase it for 3 months, you can purchase it for 1 year or 6 months. This is happening only at the Union. You don't have to visit our offices to come and purchase insurance. Just log online using ri.online.mw. This creativity is being made possible by the team that is well talented, a team that is well qualified and experienced, which is a combination of chartered insurers that we have as a company, chartered accountants that we have as a company, and also experts in ICT as well as legal experts. This is making us stronger. This is our source of strength. Talent diversity is a source of our source of strength. And indeed, that's making us stand out of the rest of the market. And above all, when we started, we were small. We didn't have any assets. Really? We were just employees. We just started. Of course, we had capital and the like, but we didn't have physical assets. We did not have. We might say we had, but we did not have. But now we are able to testify. Like Sparks testified. They have their own building. We equally have our own building. Sparks, we are sailing in the same port. We have our own building, Reunion House, as you can see, where we operate from. And this is where you can find us. We are not a nomadic underwriter. We are an underwriter that you'll be able to find us when you want to find us. So it's a testament of our strong asset base. Most of the times we've been interacting with the regulator, Mr. Kaluso Jihana and Mr. Limbiga Nundwe. They always come and visit us. We always have good time with them. So you are equally welcome, other stakeholders, because we are a friendly company that believes in the interaction. And just to browse quickly, just browse quickly. Okay. We are a company that also offers traditional products, the fire policy, the burglary, the machinery breakdown, all those policies that you need, electronic equipment. We offer these products we have. Sparks, you feel free. We also customize products. We can sit down with you and design products that will suit and indeed sort out in terms of provide a value position to your assets that you have. I wanted to show you this picture because we all have homes. And I know most of us insurers here, we don't have cover. If you have, challenge me. Some of you, yes, you have, but most of us. So let's insure our homes only at the Union, and you'll be covered against these risks that we have mentioned, the fire, the floods, and the like. You know, when you are building a home, you have money, but when calamity strikes, you don't have cash. So it's only at the Union where you can lean and get compensated. And then I wanted to zero in much on this one. This is a special product that we have as the Union, the Chisa Domestic, and it's mainly the home. This is a packaged policy, especially for the home, and it comes along with those other policies like the personal accident, the OD6, and the pressure craft. This is happening only at the Union, so feel free to speak to us. We will be able to assist you. And why Chisa? Helpline? Why Chisa? Chisa, we settle the claim on Chisa. within 5 days, we should be able to pay you when you have a challenge in terms of a claim, because CHISA has got value propositions that are unique, different from the house owners, the traditional house owners that you have. So it's good that you join us and buy CHISA. Above all, as an organization, we have grown. We are now big. We are in all regions of the country. We are in Blantyre, Lilongwe, all over we are, and even in many other ports. And while union, I already shared with you, highly qualified, claims paid within 14 days for the normal claims, but CHISA has got a different approach. And this is the Union Online I was sharing with you. It is very easy, convenient, and user-friendly, and it's 24/7. This is only happening at Union. And you can pay, actually, you generate a quotation on Union Online. You pay through gateway payments like Airtel Money, Mpamba, through the banks, and immediately, electronically, you receive a receipt. Electronically, you complete form, KYC and proposal form. Electronically, you submit. Electronically, you receive the motor certificate through your WhatsApp or on the email, and you'll be able to download, print. You are good to stick on your windscreen. That's what is happening only at the Union, nowhere else. So you are welcome to the Union. Then we are a company that we are also into corporate social responsibility, because we believe whatever we get, we should be sharing with the community. Hence, I'll just play for you a very brief video of what we do. I know my time is running out, but it's important that I share with you what we do for 2 minutes, and that will be the end of our presentation. And I thank you for listening, and I invite you to the Union to come and insure with us, because it's only at the Union where you'll be valued and where you get customer excellence that is unmatched. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Introducing a new innovation from Reunion Insurance called Reunion Online, where you can pay and get your motor insurance disc on WhatsApp and email from anywhere, anytime, on your phone or computer that has internet connection. All you need to do is visit ri.online.mw, fill out a few forms, snap a picture of your blue book, driver's license and national ID, and in a few minutes your insurance disc is ready. With ri.online.mw, you can also access your policy information and inquire online whenever you need to. Customer support service is always at hand should any assistance be required. Reunion Insurance Company, your first-class insurer.
Involved in the slipover of nation, and the purpose was to generate funds for the mothers, and she was part of that slipover. And that slipover happened at Makuira Health Center in Chikwawa. Some of you might have watched through the media. And the Union was part of that, and we generated funds close to 3 million and also 5 million. We are going to donate about 8 million kwacha through this initiative. And that's what we are doing, changing lives by action, changing life by doing, preaching the word by practicing. This is only happening at the Union. If we are to penetrate the market, we can penetrate the market by doing the word, practicing the word, not only through lip service. So just at the end, just at the end. Yeah, play there, that's all. That's what Sparks was preaching about technology. So it's done in justice. But that's fine. As I said, we invite you to the Union, and feel free to work with us. I've got colleagues. If you've got questions, I've got Mr. Gamoto is here, Mr. Nkwazi is here, I've got also Chifundo Mtali is here. My colleagues are here, Mr. Kulaso, Jedo, They're all here. You can meet us and talk to us. We are very grateful and ready to assist you. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
A big hand for you, Reunion Insurance, please. Our apologies because of the technical issues that we were experiencing with that video, but we are living in a modern era where we also embrace technology as well as the existence of social media. I'm moved to believe that Reunion Insurance also equally does have social media pages, and you guys are also going to load this video. So we should be in a position to appreciate exactly what happened and the CSR activities that they are also into. So one more time, a big hand for Reunion Insurance. A gentle reminder, those that would like to go on a boat ride tomorrow, because we're having one tomorrow, I'm hoping that we're not going to have rains. Mvula imene agwa banjaba njongo funa ngotisha musa kuti ayi tiri kunyanja kumumata kugwaso nditu mvula, but I'm moved to believe that tomorrow morning we won't have such. Make sure that you get yourself registered with Mr. Thomas Koloa. Is right there. Registration is still open till 1 p.m. today. So tachitira nitu ndituma machawi kuti tiziweze kuti amene apite kunyanja nkatikati ndi angati. There is also an issue to do with golf registration, which is being handled by Olemu Luhanga, and we are also closing by 12 noon today. So if you play golf, you'd like to play with us tomorrow, make sure that you get yourself registered as well. And one more announcement. This is something that we were communicating also yesterday. If there are any individuals bound to leave today and you're not going to be with us tomorrow as well as Sunday, make sure that you alert the officials so that they can make necessary adjustments regarding accommodation rather. But we continue with today's proceedings. AMG Global is now ready. They were trying to fix a few issues. I talked about, technical hitches, but they're geared to go right now. So one more time, insurers, please put your hands together for AMG Global.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Madai Solipenga, and I'm here representing AMG Global. My colleague will join me somewhere. So I'm now going to give you a brief overview of our film. AMG Global is a public audit, tax, and business advisory firm registered with the Institute Accountants in Malawi and the Malawi Accountants Board. Our team is led by Dr. Rex Harawa, the managing partner, Dr. Ali Nyondo, partner, audit and tax, and Dr. Joseph Nangantani, who is also a partner in audit and tax. As I've already mentioned, we provide audit, tax, and business advisory services. And under audit, we provide you with forensic audit, procurement audit, non-statutory audit, and statutory audit. Even though we're not limited to the things that we have on that list, you can always come to us and ask about a particular service, and we'll be there to help you. Under tax services, we provide you with general tax advisory services. We handle your tax disputes. We can help you with tax due diligence and calculations, you name it. Whenever you think tax, think us, think AMG Global, and we'll be there to help you. And as far as business advisory services are concerned, we provide our clients with business valuations, liquidations, business plans, functional reviews, strategies. So we have such, a handful of products and services to provide. We are also specialized in HR executive search consultancy services and psychometric assessments. So now one might wonder, what are psychometric assessments? Psychometric assessments are tests that are used to evaluate a candidate's potential, their emotional intelligence, their traits, and abilities when it comes to working. We use the psychometric assessments as part of the hiring process to help our employers identify candidates fit for the role and somebody who is fit to work in their organization. At AMG Global, we provide PXT Select. This is one of the assessments that is a job, sorry, let me just give you the right information before okay. So we provide PXT Select, which is a person job fit assessment. This for the power of we. This assessment shows you, or it helps you to assess how you work. You can work better in teams. And Genos, this is the type of assessment that is used to assess the emotional intelligence of your candidates, of people in your office, and as this helps in making or creating a very good environment for a company. One might wonder, so one might wonder, do these assessments add value? Yes, they do. They really do add value because they provide a more in-depth understanding of how a candidate is going to perform, and they give you a better insight of the person that you guys are employed compared to just checking their CV and just having the face-to-face interview that you guys can have with any particular candidate at your organization. So, if you're looking to employ the right candidate in your particular organization, we strongly recommend the use of psychometric assessments. And as I've already mentioned, because they help to provide you an in-depth of the person that you guys are going to be dealing with. I am now going to call my colleague, Mr. Limbanim Sosa, who is going to talk about the subsidiaries that we have at AMG Global. Otherwise, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I will briefly speak about these two subsidiaries, but before I continue, let me take you back a bit. Basically, these were services which were under AMG Global, but now they have overgrown to the extent that we cannot have them as services under AMG Global anymore. So we have made them to become subsidiaries which are functioning separately on their own. If I'll take you back to the slides which she put us through or took us through, basically you find that we have got that team of three, Dr. Resrawa, Dr. Nyondo, and Dr. Nangantani. Those people put together, they have got an experience of about 70 years. We cannot remain the same. AMG Global has been on the market almost 20 years now, about 18 years, close to, about 18 years, which is almost 20 anyway. That's why now we're taking these services up to become such kind of institutions. Basically also, the HR function one, we may later consider it to become a subsidiary anytime soon. So, what is whistleblowing? Basically, it's a confidential reporting hotline used to report corrupt practices, fraud, and as well as unethical behavior in the company or in the institution, but can also overflow maybe in the business environment. And for you to be part of this, you need to register with AMG Global so that we can take you on board and then look at if people could have a platform where they would report anything which is not working well, especially in terms of frauds or also corruption and then unethical behavior. Coming to mystery shopping. This one is just, of course, more of a new tool, but not very new. We have used it on the market. And synonymously would say it's a mystery audit or mystery customer or a secret shopper. What is it used for? This is used to measure quality of service, compliance with regulation, but also to find specific information to do with products and services. Who uses this? Most of the market research companies, watchdog organizations, and then also internally by companies. But you can also engage Mystery Shopper Limited to do these services for you so that you understand. Maybe let me take a simple example, if I can. We work with petroleum companies, the filling stations. Puma Energies. We have also worked with Samped before, just shopping. We have also worked with the banks. And I'm waiting, soon I'm sure, I'll work with the insurance industry. So basically, we are found in all regions, Blantyre, Lilongwe, and Mzuzu. Those are our contacts, and we have got a desk seated at the corner there in the back. I think if there's anything you'd like to know more about us, or anything you'd like to inquire, or more information, please contact us on that desk behind it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, AMG Global, for that wonderful presentation. One more time, a big hand for AMG Global, please. Thank you very much. We're going to dive straight into it. And delay like just a little bit, because I feel like these conversations are quite way more imperative than the little food situation that we're having. You agree? Are you quiet, eh? Nduri nuganiza ngati kuti tizije zabe za insurances tichedwebe khani ya chakudya pang'ono fandoona ngati chakudya chitha udikira mugwirizana nane mpingo mugwirizana nane zikomo kwambiri. I'm very excited about the next presentation, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, because we are talking about a gentleman who is an associate professor of development economics with research interest in solving emergent questions that require policy direction solutions. We are talking about, he is the head of Department of Agricultural and Applied Economics at Luana, and also the chair of Advisory and Academic Board for Collaborative Masters in Agriculture and Applied Economics for 16 universities in Africa. His research interest in insurance sector resulted in him working on modeling the perspectives of smallholder farmers on uptake of weather insurance scheme. Now, today is giving us a presentation on insuring against the unthinkable, climate change, extreme events, and economic stability. Please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Kennedy Machira.
Thank you very much. All protocols are observed. I want each one of us to relax, because I wanted to unlock the way we think business, so that we can see dimensions and spaces that are potentials for our companies to flourish and move insurance from one entity of 2%, 2.5% to where we can actually say Malawi insurance sector has matured and has grown. Now, looking at the topic, when I was talking to ex-president, Your Honor, rethinking, insuring against unthinkable, and then with three tentacles: climate change, extreme events, and economic stability. I said, wow, what a topic. Very inspiring indeed. Timely, as Malawi is experiencing the current turmoil of progress. If you can actually take you back, if I can take you back, if we talk about unthinkable business, it entails the business idea or ventures we have never thought of exploring, yet have got the potential to increase revenue or contribute positively to the domestic GDP for the nation. Now, on the other end, as we are thinking about such particular businesses, there are a lot of external shocks, which I can call them as exogenous factors, namely climate change and extreme events, which in this particular case, I've defined them as devastating change of environment due to climate variability, which has a potential of sinking businesses, sinking investments, sinking any prospects of growth to people, to companies, and to even governments at large. And on the same note, we are looking at extreme events as a shock, as an impasse in the space of financials. That particular impasse can take you to another level where your company can actually collapse, even if yesterday it posted much revenue. What is this type of a thing? Now, taking you back to 2015, there was a conference that happened in Paris. And this particular conference, they sat down people and they generated 2 articles. And one article was Article 2.1 and 2.1b and 2.1c. All these particular articles, they were reiterating that most businesses in the world are not flourishing very well because of the effect of climate change, which is sinking businesses, which is sinking potential, which is actually consuming what is it that people have invested for some time. It is because of that, investors and policymakers, they try to look at how can we manage this particular climate change with the aim of making up and fostering policies which can ensure that the economies and the institutions are growing. Now, from a traditional perspective, we have got numerous risks that are there. Among them is the financial risks, which can account or be affected because of that particular effect. Now, looking at these 2 backgrounds, I now look at, say, how amidst this particular scenario can we bring in now businesses that can be potentials amidst that particular shock, with the aim of transforming the economy to benefit amidst that particular shock. Now, I will take you to this particular 3 slides. The first slide, this one, it is talking about investment in the housing sector. There electricity and energy sector there. There transport sector there. And there is a housing sector there. And there are even some shops within that particular part. But all of a sudden, you can actually see that the area is submerged because of the effect of climate change. And on the right part, those are graves. And those are flowers. And those particular graves are pre-dug in preparation to enter people into it as a result of COVID-19. It's a snapshot picture I took. So this is actually a shock that the world experienced, where everyone, including pastors, including economists and economists, were at a standstill. We could not know whether I'm going to survive tomorrow. As a result, during that particular time, we saw insurances coughing out billions and billions of kwachas and dollars in order to cushion the effect of COVID. To the extent that some companies were even unlikely to actually provide for such type of support because they could not have the leverage to actually do so, because the enormous and the gravity of claims were exorbitantly very high, beyond expectation that they could be able to envisage during that particular period. So, on the same note, emergent event, these aircrafts in front, collision in the air, it represents those particular businesses that are high valued businesses, yet low volume businesses, able to make potential. In that case, it means that if any stakeholder in this industry is wanting to provide for to request for services in the name of insurance, they're going to pay high. Meaning that the higher they pay, the bigger the claim, if they happen to claim. Implying that in this particular business environment, if the union is able to say, we'll take this particular type of a risk and be able to insure this particular aircraft, and if it happened that which these particular people, they have invested, it has collided with another aircraft, then they cannot survive. Because a single customer claim could actually consume all the capital base for the company. And the company tomorrow is not existing. So how best can now Union Insurance take up that particular challenge and remain in business? We'll discuss. Now, look at this particular flood. let me quote Shakespeare. Shakespeare said one statement to say there was a farmer who hung himself because he was expecting plenty. That statement has a lot of meanings at the background. This particular farmer expecting plenty, it means that he could have gone to the bank, get loan, he would have gone to the insurance, get the insurance, parametric insurance, which is weather indexed insurance, so that he can be able to do something at the end of the day. Boom, he planted using the rains, relying on the rains, no irrigation, nothing. All of a sudden, there is now dry spell, or his crop drenched, meaning that he cannot expect anything out at the end of the day. Yet this particular man, his profession, her profession is a farmer, and he wanted to continue in business. He can come to the insurer and say, I wanted at least to get support from you so that I can remain in business. Insurance can actually say, but this particular phenomenon was present. We cannot give you anything. Then that particular farmer can end up dying because he was expecting plenty, but that particular plenty is saying was not actually achieved. Whereby on the other side, we have got that type of sure. That if this type of a farmer could come to an insurance company and say, Nico, I want you to give me a product, and I've got a farm, and this particular farm I'm using radio irrigation. And this is the way my farm is like. I'm planning to plant groundnuts on the other part, and I've already planted soy on this particular part. And I am using this type of irrigation system. You will see that insurance could actually say, this is a minimal risk, let me jump into it. But even though the insurance has jumped into it, there is some risk. Unthinkable business pattern. Is this particular person able to protect whatever he has harvested to the market? Is the value chain insured so that when he is able to produce, this particular person can be able to repay everything according to the way you have given him the business? Is this particular person, whatever is going to harvest, has a certification insurance that whatever is going to produce, people will not say this is substandard material? So, what am I trying to say? Malawi as an agro-based economy, it must be able to start thinking with insurance sector, supply support to the farmers so that we can actually do better than this type of a technology. Because if we cannot take to that particular point, then insurance has left the economy behind, which is an agro-based economy. No wonder the 2% is actually instituting people that are in another sector, not necessarily in agriculture, which is the mainstay of the economy. So what are we unpacking? What are we unpacking? Okay. Unthinkable space, unthinkable sphere. I worked on this particular model, and I don't know whether it's quite clear. The pillars, the pipes which are outside, it's actually the environment within which insurances are actually operating. It's a political environment, economic environment, social cultural environment, ecology, something that is changing with time, and technological environment. And this particular environment is operating in a space, a sphere, which is that particular type of the drawing which is capturing that particular diagram. Then within it, there are some itemized things that we as insurance companies were interested to do. So I will not explain in detail. I will just pick 2 pointers and explain, and then you rethink the way we can do. Let me ask a simple question to all of us. How many people here had the COVID-19 vaccine? Let me just see your hand. COVID-19 vaccine. You can actually see that over 70% of the people, we had the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, as insurance companies, your clients had the jabs. First jab, second jab, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson. Did we take time as insurance company to evaluate the content, the management, and the risk that those particular vaccines were giving out to our clients? The ones that are supporting us each and every time. The answer is no. Yet, if we can actually dig deeper into that particular part, you can actually see that the potential client was at risk. Now, a question which I can pose you. Looking at potential clients, now we are in the middle of 40 or 50s. Soon we'll be retiring. We had a jab, which we don't know what was the prescription of it. And what can happen? In my view, my personal view, it's a disclaimer. I feel that in one way or the other, that particular jab would do something to us in the long term. So, what policies are we planning as insurance companies to protect that particular person who has supported, so that by that time, he can actually be dividend to say, I get insured, even if I got that particular COVID, now I'm okay. Meaning that there is a potential to such particular people. Another point is, in the developing countries, the health sector too, when you have started work, you actually contribute your life premiums each and every month till you leave office. So that when you are now 60 and 70, you have started losing memory, aging has come to you, people, they take you and they put you to elderly homes. It's a scheme coming from the insurance sector, which as Malawi, we can actually start enforcing that. Don't cut so much money, 10,000, 20,000, so that when I'm done with this particular work, then you can actually say, Machira, stay in the village. People classify you as a witch. Let's go. You should be staying at the elderly homes. There, then grandchildren will be coming there, and I'll be eating my own now kickbacks, which I was investing in the business. This is exactly what the Europeans are implementing, and they're creating sanity and the investment of money instead of us dying 3 years after retiring because of economic shock, which we can fail to actually leverage ourselves on, because all of the sources of income, they are good. So there is a window there of opportunity, which as insurance sector, we can be able to actually cultivate on in the health sector alone. And it is through the health sector again, where we actually reach a point where we actually say, now I'm aging, now this old age diseases comes into, I need to go to London, I need to go to India. Once we can be able to catch these particular people, this particular workforce, I can tell you the health sector can actually register more. So that at that particular time, we can actually use that to actually support people. Europeans or other colleagues there, when a child is born, immediately the woman is expecting, they start contributing something. Which when that particular child is now at the age of 17, 18, they actually say, young man, you have now grown. This is your policy, I was saving for you, out of my house, I don't want to see you. When the son looks at that account, he actually sees that he has $20,000, $30,000. It's a seed to actually start moving forward. When we, who are able to know the pressure that we are experiencing at this particular moment, we eat everything till we leave our children without any inheritance. Why can't we think of products that can be able to promote people, couples, to start saving in that particular way? So that by the time those children are now reaching university, they can pay fees using whatever they have been invested in the insurance. So there is more opening in that particular part. Now, let me take you to agriculture sector. This is actually much wide. In the area of agriculture, we actually boast Malawi is an agro-based economy, what. May I open your eyes, insurance sector, to start rethinking how best you can leverage agriculture, so that the people who are the missing middles, they can start venturing into agriculture and see investment in it, so that the people can graduate from relying on small subsistence farming to now commercialized and semi-commercialized people. Who are we that have got the potential to pay without having a problem, and then you grow the money and then you grow your businesses, which at the moment we're relying on smallholder farmers who does not have adequate resources that they can actually even pay premiums to offset their business. Okay, so those are two major factors that can be considered at this particular moment. In the transport sector, now all of us, some of us, we are older enough, 50, 60. Let's take back to the test of time. There was companies that died in Malawi that was doing better in bus sector. Marasha, Giacomo's, Yano, Tuwiche. Now, I tend to wonder, were those companies not paying premiums to insure their businesses? If it happens like that, why the companies died? What really went wrong in the equation that we don't have Tikumbe Limited today? The one which was a competitor of Kandodo. Why is it that we don't have to which is surviving up to this date? MDC, Malawi Development Corporation, died a company which was able to connect everything in Malawi. Was the companies not insured? So there is a space. We should start thinking how we can harness the current companies. Give them securities. Give them advisory insurances. When they are going down, tell them to diversify. Give them advisory. Let them pay something. It's a space because every company's wish is to make sure that they are moving to another level. But if companies are not completing 2 decades and that company is dying, then it means that in one way or the other, insurance is not supporting the economy so that it can be stable. Through companies that can be quite consistent to supply whatever they want to supply and then move forward to another level. Otherwise now would have been saying Air Malawi is now having 50 plus flights. No longer recapitulated using Ethiopian Airline. When we were having a flight that Kenya could come and borrow us our flight and then it carry people to Kenya and do something like that. It means that in one way or the other, the equation of insurance did not go very well to give them confidence and hope that in case of dying, this is the way you can come back to the business. Okay? Now, looking at the nature of the information that we have, we have got this particular hierarchy where as insurance, we must be able to understand. We have got some information which we know, and we have got information which we cannot know. So, I've put up this particular distribution where I put the top part where there is like a crowds, like a World Wide Web, where we have got Facebook, whatever, where we actually share. But there is another sphere which we, as insurance people, we need to start thinking about so that we can uncover things that are hidden, which constitute 96%. It means that you are saying, business is not working very well. Malawi, we only have got 2% of our businesses. Do you know that most of the business is hidden in this, which is called the deep web? Which, if you can have people that have got good knowledge, they can be able to excavate the big web and then suggest better businesses to flourish the growth of the institution, of the sector. How can this be achieved? I can ride on IIM. We should have a robust research and development sector, Mr. President, within IIM, which must do research as to what kind of product can we make, what kind of product can be feasible for Malawi, with extensive benchmarking to different countries' businesses. So that in that particular way, we can be able to take more product that can be quite easier to make, but which can end up making insurance grow. And number 2, we should minimize high level of what? Competition amongst ourselves. Take yourself as insurance as the one unit. You want it to tackle the whole economy. But if each one of you is tackling the economy alone, you create competition. In the end, the union does not look very well on Nico does not look very CIC, does not look. In the end, you actually operate without confidence amongst one another. Yet, the sky is the limit. We have got 96% of untapped knowledge, which if we can be able to rethink and redesign, then we can have a better way of actually producing that part of an aspect. Now, looking at the global trend, let's look at examples of our colleagues out there. They have got different services, namely ecosystem service insurance, ecosystem service insurance, climate resilient agriculture insurance, climate induced infrastructure insurance. Like in this particular part, under climate induced infrastructure insurance, we are talking of people that are building. Do you know per capita level of infrastructure in Malawi is not to the standard that if it can be hit by climatic shock, then insurance companies can end up paying more because they are substandard. These buildings where agamamanga mabidala kumangira 10-1 mawili bala 10 cement malls. And then you get that type of structure and then you insure it, it's a risk to the company, because any little shock that building igwa, then you are paying. Instead of us now having good underwriters who can be able to have knowledge through research and development to evaluate the structures and say, this substandard you cannot do, this substandard you cannot do, so that you can be able to venture into areas which we can do without having any problem. So this is actually the way. A very good example again, our road networks. We build a road today. Government does not insure that particular road. Immediately after that, during defect reliability period, rains come, the building is swept. Then they come to insurance, wanted to pay, and then the road, what. When the quality of that particular road was not worthy to be insured because chinyengo chinachuluka. So it is high time now as insurers to actually invest in research and development, when a president, as Malawi, so that you can be able to actually do extensive research with the evidence so that such particular thing can actually be supported. Now, let's take an example. What if today, COVID-19 wabweranso, as a result, we are shut down, whatever. What can we do? It can become a shock, because we can repeat the same cycle of 2019, 2020, which cannot be good for us because of inadequate resilience things. Now, what if this particular lake, we can actually say, Malawi acid. Therefore, from now onwards, you should not draw water from Lake Malawi. When this particular water from Lake Malawi is the water that everyone is drinking, it means that we can end up having a risk. So what am I trying to say? Let's have weather insurances to the toe, because anything can happen. Because those ones, we classify them as extreme events, which can happen when they want to happen, because nature dictates them. Okay? And another point, to concur with Mr. Piri's point, he was mentioning about AI, artificial intelligence, data, etc. Now, let me reiterate and explain. Do you know that when you can invest in blockchain technologies, insurances, you can improve efficiencies to almost over 100%. Blockchain technologies is the same AI brother. It's like now the backbone which can keep information in that particular part. Blockchain technologies. Advantage of blockchain technologies is what? It can be able to keep and bring you handy data with proper analysis, because it can unlearn and learn, and then suggest better solutions which you can actually use to actually enhance your businesses. And as Malawi, Mr. President, explore the blockchain issues. Now, yesterday, when Tawonga presented, there was a debate on Rwanda. Rwanda, they invested in blockchain. That's why their system is a bit efficient. In the end, they actually minimize operation cost. In the end, they're able to charge less. And a lot of people now, they're subscribing to the insurance products which they are on the market. The traditional way of handling things, it always drives away customers. Because the customers that are very fast, they cannot manage to have a lot of patience when they wanted it to be recapitulated because of that particular thing. Okay, so on the right, I actually said, the insurance ventures that are climate-induced can provide opportunities to business ventures in the ecosystem, so that we can manage any business in an ever dynamic, changing environment that we are heading in. Because the situation is not that normal. Okay, now let's look at extreme events versus like insurance business. Under the extreme events, we have got the pandemic, preparedness, and continuity insurance, which I wanted Mazim and the rest of the guys to actually look at that. Pandemic preparedness. So that we can have events, we can have packages that can actually look at that. And artificial intelligence is actually something that is actually coming very well. Let's take an example. AI, motor vehicle insurances, comprehensive. People, they always play it a crook. I go not apeleka my premium majochuluka and sago banga. If I can echo what he said, I'm going to gundisa galimoto ija with the aim of making more. Komano, if we can have an intelligent chip which can be loaded on that particular car, And for each person, driver who is driving that could come even have his retina scanned, so that when he is driving that particular car, you are able to track even that particular person. Of course, upon accepting the AI policies and something like that, then when an accident has happened, when that particular person is claiming, it is the data that can tell you whether you can pay or not. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to reiterate that at the rate that the technology is growing, we must be able to invest in that so that it can up our business operations. So AI and artificial intelligence has come to stay. Let's leverage it in 100%. So that in the process, we can be able to manage things in that particular part. And there is extreme cyber insurance system. Now, let me ask you a question. We always have got a system. Backup, I have done backup. What if you go to the office and then you see that the system has been hacked for almost a month or so? What can you do? Is the manual system that you are actually keeping able to sustain the business and take it to another level? The question is no. So it means that the aspect of extreme cybersecurity insurance is actually very much important. And it has happened in one of the universities where student data just boom, erased. And then the students could actually come to say, I wanted my transcript. So what can you do in that particular way when you have what? Backup, proper backup. Because each and every technology has its own merits and demerits. So that in the process, we can be able to manage the security issues. So, if you can say from now onwards, we'll be able to bring in cybersecurity insurances, companies will be able to do it. Because we are at the verge where technology has gone higher than the way companies are actually performing. And they need solutions from the insurance sector and leverage that particular part. And the UVP, which is called a unique value proposition. Insurance companies, they have got the potential to produce products that seems futuristic or speculative. Whatever we are saying, they seem like speculative and I can tell you, these are not futuristic and speculative. They are now amidst us. Only that we have been spared because maybe such particular claims or such particular products are not there to leverage the whole businesses. But if you can invest in research and development and let these particular things go, then you'll be able to move with the test of time. Okay. A fact. I will read. Ensuring against climate change is essential for maintaining economic stability, particularly as extreme weather events and environmental changes become more frequent and severe. Another point. Effective insurance strategies can actually assist in mitigating financial impacts of these events, supporting recovery efforts and promoting long-term economic resilience. Now, a question I can ask. If today we can be told to say, all your policies, they have been frozen and you're out of job, how long can we have the shock of living up to 1 week? There are very few people that can manage that. Other people, before that particular person finishes disseminating that particular news, they are already collapsed. Because it's a shock. So let's take this type of a scenario from a company perspective. A company that was flourishing properly, Giacomo's, Yanuya, Tuwiche, Marasha. Today you cannot believe that those companies, when they were recruiting thousands of people, buses all over, all across Malawi. The reason why is because maybe the insurance companies then did not manage to give them and direct those particular people as to what kind of investment they can do to keep the business up and running. So, in the end, investment has been affected. So, in the agriculture sector, we have got a parametric insurance and a government-backed insurance schemes, disaster relief insurances, and the micro insurance for vulnerable population, and the agricultural insurances, and the most important part, resource syndicate. What is a resource syndicate? This is like a resource pool. If, for example, Reunion Insurance is wanting to to offer product for high valued products, they cannot do it alone. They can, all insurance companies in Malawi can pull there to actually transfer the risk so that they can do it together. So that in the process, if anything happens, then it must not be a burden on one company, but all companies. In Malawi, what's the nature of our businesses? Okay? And now, to Insurance Institute now, we need to have stakeholder interfaces, extensive one, innovative insurance knowledge, and we need to invest much in research, analytic, and development skill. Because these ones, they are the ones that can bring in a lot of opportunities for firms to ensure that all those particular things on the right are actually provided. And the take-home message, we can say that insurance plays a pivotal role in safeguarding economic stability against increased risk either by climate change or extreme events. So it means that the products that we can be able to bring, which can cushion insurance in the area of climate change and the extreme events, they can actually increase the propensity of economic growth. And we must have what is called motivating insurance product. If somebody has not claimed for maybe 5 years, 1 year, give him a premium holiday, you actually run without paying anything. He is going to bring in more people because say, when you are able to give them that particular pressure each and every year, then they ended up now say, I was in comprehensive, now I'm in third party, then I'm no longer, then I will go to ghost insurers, and then as long as I've got the disc and I move, that is okay. Then we are losing revenue. But if we are able to give them a proper interfaces and the proper conditions, then they can minimize, they can be motivated because of that particular product. And at the same time, sustainable economic growth, it actually comes because we have integrated so many key players in the process so that those particular players are able to provide a better situation. As I am finishing, let me quote a modified quote by the president. You just said it this morning. Nobody can actually come from heaven to promote the insurance sector business feasibility and growth in Malawi. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Machira, for that wonderful presentation. Another big hand for him, please. Suffice to say that he is also currently working on maternal factors of health insurance in Malawi using demographic and health survey data set, hence the passion that he also does have for the insurance sector. But at this juncture, allow us to take some questions so that he can respond to such. We're going to have 2 rounds of such questions. We'll take 3 questions at a go and have them respond to such, and after that, I will go for the next set. So anyone with a question, please raise your hand, and we'll come through with the roving mic that we have here. So we'll start with you, sir.
Thank you. Very powerful presentation, Doc. I like personally the presentation. And I think it's somehow an indictment to the industry, probably to say we need to do more. Because I think there's so much take-home messages from your presentations. But having said that, I wanted to ask this question. There is a slide where you are showing the sphere. I think it was second or third slide where you are showing the sphere. And throughout your presentation, I think you have linked most of the failures within the society to insurance. Probably like an availability of enough insurance. So going by this sphere, I was asking myself then, where do we draw the line to say here insurance indeed failed, or probably maybe it's a totally different thing altogether? Because from this sphere, it shows that yes, the insurers might have the knowledge, they might have the good thinking, but if some of the factors there that affect insurance, probably they're not conducive, they're not there, still the insurance companies or the insurance industry will still fail. So where do we draw the line? Because you have linked almost all the failures to the availability of insurance. Thank you.
Let me recognize 2 more people I had to go before I get to pass the mic to the second person who has to ask a question. So 2 more people who need to, give in a comment or have a question for Dr. Machira. Raise your hand, please. Okay. We'll have him respond to this question.
Okay, thank you very much. From the sphere, it's like a black box. What does a black box mean? A black box, it is something that can give you an impetus to think outside the box so that you can actually identify that you don't have, even if you have. So, looking at this particular sphere, it's just a subset of the many things that insurance sector can do. We are looking at the 2%. Yet, if each sphere parameter can be explored, we can actually have so many opportunities to actually offer insurance against. Instead of maybe using the sphere to say, I am saying that you are not doing it to the excellent level, but you are looking at the 98% business loss, which if we can use the sphere to rethink, do extensive research and development, then I can 100% for sure, if, for example, insurance could manage to take 40% of all clientele in Malawi are insuring, then we are at a good level. It is through that type of research that you can even motivate other insurance companies to reinsure themselves in a Malawi environment, because they will see value in doing that than maybe at the moment when we end up reinsuring ourselves to institutions outside, or minimally reinsuring ourselves. So that is briefly what I can actually say. So this one, it is something that can make us to think that the horizon is not small but is wider. But maybe the nature of business we are doing now, it is just very small. So we need to think more so that we can explain more avenues from what is directed by the sphere. Thank you.
Let's go for the next round of questions. If there are any other individuals having questions for Dr. Machira, feel free to raise your hand and we'll bring the microphone your way. Is there any other person with a question, or this is where we call it a wrap? I believe that's it. So one more time, a big hand for Dr. Machira, please. All right, so our communication that we're getting from officials organizing this year's conference is that the boat ride that we were talking about will happen tomorrow at 10. So we make sure that you're by the beach around that time, and also make arrangements to check out prior to you getting to the beach, so that right after the boat ride, then we can ride together heading back home. Mwapanga chiganizo chonena kuti mukakhale nawo pa nyanja kwera boti 10 koloko nthawi yache ndi yabwino yoti tikafikire ndithu pamene popo, koma tionetsetse kuti we have already checked out kuti tikamamaliza ndi kuti tikubwerera. Komanso kwa iwo onse amene afuna kusewera nawo golf kufikira nthawi ino ndi kuti tatseka anthu amene tidalembetsawo ndi kuti ndi amene atengedwe pakatati pano. Ladies and gentlemen, as we communicated earlier, this year's Lakeshore conference wouldn't have been possible without the support of different players that are also here present. So right before I call the next player who has been so integral to make sure that this gets to happen, can we just take this time to put our hands together for all sponsors that have made it possible. And can I have an official from Emosis to give us a presentation for the next 10 minutes right before an official from Brigham comes through. So let's put our hands together for an official from Emosis.